Hello there, world of tankers, I'm Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Progetto 46, the Tier 8 auto-reloading Italian premium medium tank. Woof, I need a breath of air after saying that, but this Tier 8 medium tank has come into the stores today for the price tag of 8,500 gold. Now that is definitely way cheaper than the times it has been sold before. I think the first time it came out for 15,000 gold, then it was 12,500, then it was 10,000, now it's 8,500. So it's definitely coming cheaper and cheaper every single time, which is good for us because that means less money we're spending for a pretty dang good premium vehicle. So it's about 25 US dollars. So in today's video, as always, I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about the tank, a little bit about the statistics, and of course some live gameplay showing you if you already have the tank, how to play it, if you do struggle with it, and at the same time, if you don't have the tank, what it's like if you do find yourself playing some live gameplay for it. So make sure to smash that subscribe button down below if you do enjoy this type of content. But other than that, let's get straight into it. So talking a little bit about the statistics, first of all, what's good and what's bad. Now, with an aiming time of 2.7 seconds, you'd probably think that this is a Chinese medium tank, but the crazy thing is that it's not. So it's got not only a great base aiming time, but also the dispersion at 0.317 is quite good. Even after shot dispersion values is fantastic on this vehicle, best in class for Tier 8 mediums. So overall, the Progetto 46 is great on the gun. Not to mention, while the DPM looks pretty bad at only 2,000, that's because it's subjective to how well the player knows how to maximize their damage per minute. I'm not sure how Wargaming gets the 2,000 base DPM value if they're just shooting the gun non-stop with a 6.34 second reload, but if you know how to run this vehicle well, it really does do an excellent job of whittling down your opponents. You have to remember that this tank does 240 damage a shot, and that means that if you have all 3 shells in your clip and only a 2.5 second shell interval time, that means that in a matter of 5 seconds you have dealt 720 damage, more than an ISU 152, aiming in quicker than that ISU, more mobile, and you got just crazy damage output on this vehicle. But of course the auto reloader is a little bit different than that, because if this was a clipper, yeah, that's all you'd be able to do, is 720 damage and then back up. But what this tank can do is, let's say you've got your whole clip loaded, well, you can do that 720 damage and then use it as a single shot tank instead of having to wait, let's say, the 15 seconds to reload your whole clip. In 6.34 seconds, you can shoot off another singular shell and penetrate the enemy again, taking off another 240 hit points. So that's the really cool thing about this vehicle. Enough about the statistics, though. You guys are all probably getting bored by hearing me just talk about plain numbers on a piece of paper. So let's get into some gameplay. I'll talk about the rest of the gun depression, which is sitting at actually a pretty solid 9 degrees. But the biggest thing on the tank is the armor, and it doesn't really have any. It's pretty much like a Leopard PTA, just brought down a tier. So your upper plate, yeah, it can not bounce any shells, and same for your lower plate, and same for your side, and same for your butt, and even your turret. You're not going to bounce any shots in this tank. Don't expect to. If you do, it's because you got lucky. And high explosive shells can penetrate the side of you, the rear of you, the side of your turret, and the rear of your turret, and even the lower plate of the front of the vehicle. So yeah, it really has absolutely no armor. This is pretty much a glass cannon, but it does have good mobility, as you can see here. Easily getting upwards of 50 kilometers per hour. I'm not sure what the top speed is, but I know it's upwards. It's probably like 55 kilometers, but yeah, it is a very mobile tank, and here we go. You can see that gun really getting at the pain now. So that was 2 shots, didn't get detected, and that was 500 damage in a matter of 5 seconds. Well, not even. There was like 2.5 seconds there, and I've done 500 damage, and there we go. So I've reloaded my whole clip. Didn't have to spend any extra time. So that is what makes this tank so deadly, is that you have the ability to load a clip and then unload it all onto the enemy in a matter of just a couple seconds. I really want that shell to connect, but it looks like that one will not be going in anytime soon here. But just gonna wait, reload that last shell again. This is where the gun really does work well, because unlike your normal reloading, you know, your clipper, this thing I can reload each shell singularly, and that way I don't have to spend my whole time reloading the entire clip. So here we go, got a Tiger, and yeah, this Tiger is gonna find out what happens to people that mess with the clip on the Progetto 46. And because my 34-3 did shoot that Tiger, and he's on a reload, well, there you go, I'm able to shoot him, got a lucky bounce right in the roof of the turret, and finished off the Tiger. So again, this is where the tank becomes really deadly, because I can shoot it like a single shell vehicle. Now sadly, I did get hit by that IS-5 there, and yeah, that's not always super fun, but I'm going to push my tank a little forwards here so I don't get hit by that Oh, it's actually an IS-3, I misread that, but I'll wait now for my clip to reload. Of course, that is probably the smartest thing I can do. Wait for the clip to reload, and then I will have 3 shells out here. This IS-3 is, I'm not sure what he's doing, but he just fired his shells, and here we go. So now we can unload our shells. We can actually pen him with standard, it would appear. So there's 2 pens, and we'll load, you know what? let's get another standard pen in there. So there we go. That was, again, 700 damage there in about a matter of 6 seconds, which is, again, pretty dang deadly when you do think about it. So, let's load a premium shot, pen it right through the upper plate of that IS-3. Sadly, my KV-3 did bounce that shot, so it looks like we're going to have to be shooting this guy once again. There you go, another shot into the IS-3. So we just broke 3,013 damage. And you can see just how deadly this tank is if you're running it in the correct scenarios. And you may be asking, how am I able to penetrate the IS-3 if I only have about 190 millimeters of pen with my standard? Well, of course, shell normalization goes into place there, so I'd say it's about 210 millimeters actually effective, which, of course, as you saw there, the IS-3's upper plate's about 200, so it made sense that I was able to easily cut through the armor, especially because I was looking a little bit down. But yeah, the gun on this tank is actually fantastic. You can see aiming time through the roof. It's got great DPM if you know how to use it effectively. So that short 2.5-minute game, I was able to get out 3,000 damage. So let's do that one more time here. Of course, I'm going to be rushing up right to the main center hill. But one thing I will say is don't think this tank is great at brawling in the front line. If you're in a tier 9 match, oh boy, this thing does not do super well, especially against high alpha vehicles. Let's say like a T92E1 or even a T49. If I get hit by a T49, well, what's going to happen is they're going to shoot me an HE right in the lower plate or even the upper plate sometimes, or just a heat shell, take me off 560 hit points and then back up. And that's the issue with the vehicle, is that if you play it too aggressive, it is very unrewarding. But if you know how to play it correctly, then it is rewarding. So it's got two different very sides going for it. But here we have the Tiger, who, well, there's two nice shots right into the Tiger. Thankfully, that Chimera missed its shot, and, well, yeah, that was an unlucky shell there, but we're going to back up here. I do not want to play with the Chimera. Again, that is the identification of a vehicle you do not want to mess with because it's got the alpha, it's got penetration. That's just a tank you really don't want to play with because it's super deadly in all of the aspects. But if I load the premium shells, I easily can penetrate this Chimera. So there we go. Again, taking off a meager 300 hit points, but again, it still is quite a bit of HP when you do think about it. So Chimera just shot, which means, again, I'm just going to reload my clip here. I don't know where their SG-152 is, which is, of course, one of the biggest threats to me here. But we do have the 49, and, of course, my auto aim missing its shot, but we got the second shell in here. And, yeah, my biggest threat is no longer going to be my biggest threat as, well, yeah, he's about to be taken out, which is perfect for me. So there goes the biggest threat for me. So now all the alpha damage is left on that Chimera, who's also not very hit point healthy. So I'm going to reload my shells here. Good. I just noticed that, there we go. Nice little tap into you. And as well, well, I don't want to be hit by that. I didn't really have a choice there, but I'm going to change position here. I'm going to have to move down. I can't really fight the T-54E2 Shark. It's just a vehicle that I really can't, I can't brawl with. It's got the alpha. So here we go. Let's try and get this Chimera. I'm going to rush the guy. Let's load a premium shell. There's one shot in, and there we go. Finishing off that Chimera. That was definitely something that was very important to the vehicle. I'm noticing that the T-44 is also pushing quite aggressive here. We've got the T-54E2 up top, and I can actually finish that guy off with an entire clip. So that's definitely very good for my vehicle. But I also, at the same time, don't want to play with a tank that can easily get me taken out. So I'm going to back up here. My T-40, or their T-44, looks like he's having a bit of technical difficulties. So there's one shot into that T-54. There's a bounce, so that's a little bit of a shame. But again, I'll just reload one singular shell. That is the nice thing about this vehicle, is unlike your normal clipper, I can reload each shell in the clip, and though this T-54E2, while he may shoot me here, we're going to get a couple bit of shots right in the side of him here. It looks like, there we go, there's one shot, and finishing him off, boom. So there you go. Again, this tank is just super deadly if you know how to play correctly. All we have left is this T-44. Can't get an HE into, but standard shell, and boom, Chimera getting a beautiful little ram right in the side. So there you go, two pretty good games. I was up against extremely deadly tanks on the enemy team. We were up against the T-54E2. We were up against an SG-152, which I don't really know what he did, but Chimera. And we did a pretty good job, able to get out 2,700. Of course, Chimera doing 4K. Nice job to you, mate. But overall, pretty good games. And as you can see, the Progetto is a wonderful tank to play. In fact, this is one of the few times I'll say that this tank actually is worth the price tag. Well, I'd say about 20% of the time the vehicles are worth it, but I actually do think that the Progetto is worth the price tag. It's a great tank to play. It's only $25. Now, of course, if you're saving your gold for something spectacular, this vehicle is not overpowered. It's strong, it's really strong, but it's only really strong if you know how to play correctly. If you're a new player and you're not really maximizing your DPM, you don't understand how to play it, you're really quickly going to fall apart. So it's very special, but I enjoy playing this tank so much. watch. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you agree with my opinion or disagree, let me know. But other than that, I hope you're all doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.